Good morning, everyone. This is Mayank Janji here, and yeah, yesterday we saw some positive news for the markets. Uh, Bengal elections came in favor of BJP, which is a positive sign for the share market. However, there was an initial exuberance in the market. Nifty went up to 24,300, and then it starts sliding downwards. It made a couple of attempts again, but eventually it faltered over there, and hence we are closed at the end of 24123. As soon as market closes, the news came about. Some kind of attacks happened on some ships over Strait of Hormuz. Later in the evening, the news came about. Some kind of conflict happened between US and Iran in the Strait of Hormuz, and later Iran fired some ballistic missiles over UAE and hit one of their refineries. So it's a clear escalation on the Strait of Hormuz issue. I think it basically coincides, or it basically resonates with what Trump has said. I think the plan is clear that US is now attempting to clear the Strait of Hormuz and the blockade over there. And he knows that if he starts taking steps, it will definitely lead to that retaliation, and hence he's hoping that other countries whose ships are going to be hit, they will start aligning themselves with the US, and together they'll make a little alliance which through which they can either force Iran to succumb back, or or to just be alone in this whole battle. So while from the market point of view, this is a clear escalation and a risk of measure. So markets would probably try to realign themselves now again. While thankfully, as of now, US has not, retaliated back as of now. But what happens in the coming days or hours, we don't know. Okay, on the perspective of levels, I think it's one that we keep a track of it. We are still in closing the band of 24100 and 24500 to be approximate. Today morning, we're likely to open around 100 points down, which would probably translate to level of 23970 approximately. Uh, the thing we have to see now is whether we are really able to trade below this band or not. So first thing for a trade, I feel, is to look for whether we are consistent. We just opening can be a different thing, but in the next couple of hours or an hour, are we really trading below this band or not? If we start trading below this band, which is 24,100 approximately, which is the lower end of the band is 24,100. In that case, I think we definitely going to slide towards this support, which is at 23,800. Uh, and if this also falters, then we are definitely looking towards 23,100, and that's the fear which, as a bull, you may have. On the upside, if something happens, start to happen good, then this little, so I've created a small trending downward line. If you see, so there was a, in this area there was a market tried to make lower highs. Eventually it fell down. From there, when the news started talking about the war, it made recovery, and now it's again try to make a small high here. This high is lower than this high, so that's why I've joined that now. So if I just take this trend into the to like this, I think then again at 23,300 approximate 24,300 is where right now this downward sloping line has its top. So are we really, so somebody who wants to attempt a long can attempt a long, around, if Nifty starts to breach this level of 24,300. In my view, if that happens, then probably it will again retest 24,500, this band, upper side, and this band. And if this also gets broken, then I think we're looking at a level of 25,000. This is my view on the upside. On the downside, as I just mentioned, 23,800. First is whether we trade below this 24,100 or not for 1 hour or couple of hours. If that's so, then I think we may go and test 23,800. And if that gets broken, then we definitely sliding towards 23,100. That's hourly chart says. Now we'll just look at different time intervals, and then we'll just try to create a bigger picture. The day chart, this 24,600 is where my resistance is. Until we close above this level, there is no clear trend in my view. The below side, I think I feel 23,600. I'm not right now considering this as of now because this is a very short time interval chart. So 23,500 is what I'm looking at on the downside. If this gets broken, then we're looking toward 22,800. So it's a nice little downside of around. So if this happens, so I think I'll get a neat, clean 700 points down here. I maybe try to take it. Still on the upside, if 24,600 has been taken out, then 25,100 is I'm looking at. Let's see how it happens or not. On the weekly chart, one thing which you're taking away, see, this is COVID low. Since then we made recovery. We had a good linear rally for next 2 3 years. I mean, that's a around 4.5 years, and then we start to go in a narrow. Okay, in the weekly chart, it's a range. While this may span across 2 years, but this is a range. So it is resting here, in my view, and that's why this 20 because after such a big rally for 3.5 3 and 4 years, equity class, I mean, any asset class would take a pause. So this 3,000 points is a pause on the weekly chart, why it's a big 3,000 point, but that's how longer term charts look like. The 22,000 is a litmus test. We did touch that. I think I'll just show you in the candle. We did touch that, once. See, and then we quickly cover from there. Right now, in the middle of it again as usual. So again, the ups up. I mean, if we close up above 24,800 in a week, then we are looking at level of 25 500 400, and probably if we close above that as well, then we're definitely going towards new high, and we go back to this line. Line, this upward trending line. So I think there will be a sharp move up, from the Nifty, and then Nifty would start respecting this particular upward sloping line. So this would be a great, I would say great movement for the bulls if you're able to surpass 25,500 approximately on a weekly chart. On a weekly chart, downside, the first level which I look forward for is 23,500 or close below that. If this happens, we are going towards 22,100 again. In my view, maybe we just take a pause here. We'll take a pause here for some time, but I think in my view, we'll again going to reattempt the support of 22,100. If this gets broken, I think then it's like a long term negative, which will take me to maybe 19,000 as well. We don't know. We'll speak about it once it happens. So this is the overall summation of what we have. Okay, we'll also add open touch data in that as well. So in this open touch data, if you see this, so I've excluded the fifth May because today expiry is happening. So I have to take the other three weekly expiries. So concentration is at 24,000, where I know put and the call both are getting added. So I mean, there's a bigger. Then we have at 23,500 and 24,500. So the bigger wall is on 24,500. So there's a resistance here, and this resistance of 24,500 also coincide with the technical charts as well, especially on the hourly as well, on the daily as well, and the weekly as well. That's all the three charts tell me, and this one derivatives data tells me that 24,500 is a big level to watch out for on the upside. The downside, 23,500 is a level you should look for. 24,000 is one, and then 23,500, nothing substantial in between these levels. So this is the setup. So combine everything. I think, in my view, we are for us for short term. I think 24,100 band is crucial. Break which will take to 23,800 and then 23,500. And if I just speak about upside, on upside 24,500, 300 on hourly is important. If this breaks on breaks Then 24,500 is the litmus test on markets. For a little longer term, or I would say intermediate term, I'm somebody who can take a little long options or something like we can call it for long. Intermediate term, 24,500 is mother of all levels. On short, on the bearish side, it's 23,500. 500 and then 22,100 is mother of all levels. So this is how we are going to trade. In my view, this is my analysis of Nifty chart. If you have any queries, please welcome. You're most welcome to ask. Please put it in the comment section. I'll happy to respond. With this, thank you very much. Have a good day. Take care. God bless everyone.